Hello there, this is the Shadow Ranger. It's a hot afternoon here in Korea, 2:15 p.m. Um, got back home from my break from work a little bit while ago, and I saw that I had a video response from Dalyxman and MrLucidLJ. Now, this is responding to a video that I did about a week or so ago. It was called Ring of Honor versus TNA Hold Your Horses, people. And then just some comments that Mr. Lucid LJ made in the comment section of that video. And then I made another video called Calm Down, Mr. Lucid LJ. So this is him and the Lex Man just doing a response to what I said in that video. Now, it's been about a week, and I can't remember everything I said in those videos. So I'm just going to respond to the video they did. So I listened to your video, and I took notes as I listened to it. So I'm just going to go through the notes that I took as I listened to your video. So I apologize if I skipped anything. I would just pause when something caught my attention and make a note. Alright, let's see here. Also, yeah, I have no hard feelings with either of you guys either. I just kind of thought he was kind of going a little overboard with some of the comments he made on that other video. But yeah, we just disagree. So yeah, no hard feelings on my end either. Alright, so I'm going to just go through the notes here as I type them out. Watch for the okay, yeah. Yes, I've watched wrestling for the match, but it's more about the match that the stories tell. The reason I made the comment about, people watching MMA, because when I made those comments a while back, somebody responded to me by saying, well, if you just care about a story, then why don't you watch soap operas? And my response to that person was, well, if you just care about seeing a fight, why don't you watch MMA? I mean, if I just wanted to see a fight, I would watch MMA or boxing. Why not? If you want to just see a fight, why not watch a real fight instead of a choreographed one? That's just kind of my thing. No, the matches are not what originally made me a wrestling fan. Characters of what made me a wrestling fan. I have always been a character-driven wrestling fan. I've always been in wrestling has always appealed to me for the characters. It's never been the matches that drew me into wrestling. I enjoy a great wrestling match, but it's always the characters and the character development and the story behind the match that makes me want to watch it. The story is what makes me want to watch the match. I'm not saying that matches don't matter. I'm saying that characters and storylines are more important than the match. It's because without the characters are what get heat, and heat is what sells tickets. That's what makes you want to see the match. No one ever bought tickets or a pay-per-view because of Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold or The Rock's wrestling ability. I mean, list your top 10 Stone Cold moments or your top 10 Rock moments. How many of those top 10 moments are matches? When I think of Hulk Hogan, I don't think about matches. I think of one match. The only thing I think about match-wise when I think of Hulk Hogan is him slamming Andre the Giant. Everything else is the build-up, the storyline that led to the matches is what I always think of. I think about, let me tell you something, Hulksters, Hulkamania is running wild. That's what I think of. I think of the build-up to his great matches, not the match itself. But without the match, the storyline means nothing. So, I wouldn't watch wrestling if there were no matches. When I think of Stone Cold, I don't think of his matches. I think of stunning Vince McMahon and give me a hell yeah and the beer truck and filling Vince McMahon's car with cement. I think of the character. That's what made me like Stone Cold. When I think of The Rock, I don't think of his matches. I think of Rudy Poo, can they add know your role and shit. It doesn't matter what your name is, jabroni. I think of The Rock as the character, the corporate, The Rock, the jabroni beating, pie eating, trailblazing, eyebrow raising, people's champ, The Rock. That's what I think of when I think of The Rock. The only match that I think of when I think of The Rock was that one match he had with Mick Foley at the '99 Royal Rumble, the I Quit match, where he handcuffed him and wailed on him with the chair like 15 times. But that's the only match of The Rock's I think about. Stone Cold match wise, I think of Um, the WrestleMania 13 match for Bret Hart. Hogan slamming Andre. That's about it. The characters is what made me love these characters. Their characters what made me love these guys, not their matches, not their wrestling ability. I'm not saying that matches don't matter. I'm not, of course not. That would be idiotic. I'm saying, if there were no matches, I wouldn't watch wrestling. Matches matter a lot, but the story and the character matters more. That's what I'm saying. I think those are more important. If you took away either one, I wouldn't watch it anymore. Because if you took away the matches, I'd just watch better actors do it on a soap opera. If you took away the storylines, I'd watch MMA and see a real fight. You need them both. I'm just saying that to me personally, the character matters more than the match. I would say it's maybe like 60-40 to me. But again, that's just me personally. Let's see what next here. Ring of Honor will be liked more by the IWC than TNA will be, because they already are. The IWC loves Ring of Honor. But I'm talking about, when I talk about them competing, I'm talking about in terms of business success, ratings, pay-per-view buys, ticket sales. Ring of Honor will not be able to compete with TNA because of the fact that they are only in 22% of homes. The average person people who don't, let's see how I want to say this. Casual fans, the average American who does not have a Sinclair station isn't going to know, that still won't know that Ring of Honor exists unless it's, unless they learn from word of mouth, or Sinclair spends a lot of money advertising the website. Again, if you don't, like, I'm from Mississippi. I live in Korea now, but I'm from Mississippi. And I checked the Sinclair website. They don't have a Mississippi affiliate. So how is anybody in Mississippi going to know? Anybody in Mississippi that is not part of the IWC. Wait a minute, let me check that website. I think they didn't have one in Mississippi. It's been a while. Let me check again. Here we go. Luckily, the website is saved in my browser history. Yeah, they don't have one. So I'm looking on the map right now. There's no Sinclair affiliate in Mississippi, where I'm from. So anybody in Mississippi that's not part of the IWC, how are they going to even know that Ring of Honor exists? Is Sinclair going to spend the money to make sure that all of these people in all these other states that don't have an affiliate know about the website? Again, all right, there's no affiliate in Mississippi. There's no affiliate in Louisiana. I'm looking right here. Arkansas, I don't see one. So people in Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, how are we going to know that a Ring of Honor exists? I know because I'm part of the IWC. I listen to wrestling radio shows. I go to wrestling news sites. But, I'll give you an example. Somebody in my family who's a wrestling fan. My grandmother. She likes pro wrestling. But she don't watch as much anymore. But she used to love watching Stone Cold and stuff, She was a huge Stone Cold fan. Now, how is my grandmother going to know about Ring of Honor? She can't use a computer. My cousins who watch wrestling, they're not part of the IWC. They don't go to wrestling websites like I do. How are they going to know about Ring of Honor? All these people in all of these other states I'm seeing on this map that don't have a Sinclair affiliate, how are they going to know that Ring of Honor even exists? Is Sinclair going to spend the amount of money that they would need to advertise in all those places to tell those people to go to the website and watch the show? When I'm talking about, like, competition here, they're not going to be able to compete. Ring of Honor will not be able to really compete with TNA as long as they're only in 22% of homes. 22% at the most. That's 22% if they're carried by every Sinclair-owned station. If every Sinclair affiliate airs Ring of Honor, they'll be in 22% of homes. That's 22% at the most. Will fans leave TNA to go to ROH? IWC fans will. The casual fan will watch both. If the casual fan enjoys TNA and they also enjoy Ring of Honor, they'll watch both. I said before, I'm going to give Ring of Honor another shot when their new show debuts. And I'm going to watch every episode for at least 2 months before I really decide if I'm going to continue watching it or not. If it's the same boring stuff that I've gotten when I watched Ring of Honor in the past, I'm not going to watch it. But I'm going to watch it for 2 months straight and then then just give my honest opinion on the product. If I enjoy it, I'm gonna watch it. But I'm not gonna stop watching TNA just because I start watching Ring of Honor. You can watch both. I doubt Ring of Honor can be good, but I doubt they're gonna be so good that you decide I don't want to watch any other wrestling. I'll still watch WWE. I'll still watch TNA. I mean, the only way Ring of Honor is gonna hurt TNA's viewership among outside of the IWC is if their show was on Thursday night at the exact same time. That's the only way. The IWC already loves Ring of Honor more. They're gonna watch Ring of Honor. That's a given. Maybe some IWC fans, once Ring of Honor's on, they might stop watching TNA completely. Hey, that's fine. The casual fans will watch both. Unless you think that ROH is going to be so good, like, I just can't bear to watch any other wrestling. I don't think you're going to be that good. No matter how good WWF was in the 90s, it was never so good that I didn't want to watch WCW anymore. And WCW was never so good that I didn't want to watch WWF anymore. I mean, you can't make your promotion that good that I'm just going to choose. And it's not going to happen. Nothing Ring of Honor does is going to make people stop watching TNA. Only TNA will make you stop watching TNA. If you enjoy TNA, you will still watch it no matter how good Ring of Honor is. You'll watch both. Only TNA can make you stop watching TNA. Well, WWE if they buy it, but I heard that this Ring of Honor show is going to be on Saturday nights at 11 p.m. I seriously doubt many people are going to stay up that late to watch the show where they can just watch it online the next day. That's what I'm saying. I just have a hard time believing that. TNA did not pay China millions of dollars. If they had paid China $1 million or more, it would be on every wrestling website by now. No way that would have been kept secret. They paid the Jersey Shore chick $7,000 and everybody knew about it. If China got paid $1 million or more, we'd all know about it by now. Plus, if they paid China millions of dollars, she wouldn't be going back to do porn. She would have stayed in TNA and got the millions from TNA. Porn don't pay millions. What makes me believe TNA is making money? Logic. Panda Energy bought controlling interest of TNA in October of 2002, according to the Panda Energy Wikipedia page. So they've owned the majority stock of the company for 8 years. If TNA wasn't making a profit by now, Panda Energy would have pulled the plug. 8 years? You don't lose money for 8 years and not get dropped. I'm sorry. I don't care if Dixie Carter's family runs Panda Energy. I don't care how much they love her. I wouldn't keep TNA going for this long if it wasn't making me any money. And I'm a huge fan of TNA. I'd have killed it by now. If they wasn't making an overall profit by now, Panda Energy would have pulled the plug. Panda Energy took control in 2002. If TNA wasn't making a profit, Panda would have killed it in, let's see, 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I would say 2007. If you ain't made a profit in 5 years, you died. Just use that logic. Panda Energy has owned TNA since October of 2002. If they were not making an overall profit by now, Panda Energy would have already killed it. I don't care how much Bob Carter loves Dixie. He ain't gonna let his daughter drain their money like that. Not happening. Nobody love their child that much. You know how much money they probably lose in it, or not how much money they spend to not be making it back? Nah. I'm not saying I don't want 5-star matches. If you could give me a 5-star match with a great story, great. Yeah, I would love that. That would be ideal. If you can give me a great story and give me a 5-star match at the end, that is fantastic. I will love you forever for that. I'm saying I don't have to have 5-star matches. Give me 3 stars with a good story and I'm fine. I'm content and happy with that. Every match ain't gonna be 5 stars. You're delusional and naive. You think that no matter how great the Ring of Honor matches are, every freaking Ring of Honor match is not a 5-star fucking match. Don't try to lie to yourself and delude yourself into thinking that every match they do is 5 stars. What I'm saying is this: I would rather have a 3-star match with a really good story than to get a 5-star match with a bad story. If the storyline, the characters don't enter, you give me boring characters, I would want to see it. If two dudes that I'd never seen or never heard of came on Monday Night Raw next week and had a 5-star match, I wouldn't give a fuck. Who the fuck are these dudes, and why should I care about them? Unless you're using it as part of their storyline. If boring characters have great matches, don't make you not boring. And I always talk about a lot of these boring youth movement guys, how they've just been booked to be so boring and mediocre. You know, Daniel Bryan and Ted DiBiase had a very good match last week on SmackDown, but both guys bored me, and I didn't really give a fuck. I don't care. I didn't care enough about either guy to be able to get into their match. I liked the Cody Rhodes Daniel Bryan match because Cody Rhodes interests me. But yeah, if you can give me a great story and a 5-star match, fantastic. I'll love you for it. But 3 stars and a good story, that's enough to satisfy me. Again, every match can't be 5 stars. Most matches aren't given enough time to be 5 stars. Again, I'm going to state this again because you brought this up a second time. What people said to me when I talk about caring more about the story and the character than the match, what they say to me is, if I just want a story, then why don't I just go watch a soap opera instead? And my response to them is, if you just want a competition, why not watch UFC? If all you care about is the fight, then why not watch a real fight? I don't watch the UFC. I don't watch MMA. I find MMA to be boring. Mainly because there's no interesting characters. Everybody's just a guy. It's kind of the same reason why I didn't get in the Ring of Honor. The fighters bore me. You fight, you win, you want to be the best. Oh, plus the other thing with MMA is I don't get to see him fight that often. You know, I'd watch Brock Lesnar fight, but he might have 5 fights in a year. I want to see you more than that. I mean, I love AJ Styles, but I wouldn't really be that into AJ Styles if he only fought 5 times a year. Of course, I would pay $50 to see AJ wrestle if he only wrestled 5 times a year. But again, I want to see you more. I don't see the fighters enough to get emotionally invested in them. I don't see them enough to really for them to build up a character. So that's why I've always found MMA to be boring. Only time I watch an MMA fight is when I hear about somebody get beat real quick. Like I watched that fight between Kimbo Slice and Seth Petrozelli because I heard the dude got beat in 12 seconds. If I heard that a dude got beat up by a guy with pink hair in 12 seconds, then I'll tune in and watch. Just because that's funny. Now, when I was talking about the 22% thing, I'm not saying that that's bad for Ring of Honor. I was talking about strictly in the sense of competition, competing with TNA specifically. Because everybody's jumping up and saying, TNA's in trouble, y'all better watch out, they gonna take your spot. I heard people say stuff like, just like a couple days ago, I was listening to a wrestling radio show and a caller called in and said that he predicts that in 2 years, Spike TV will drop TNA and pick up Ring of Honor. I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. That doesn't do Spike any good. If Spike wants Ring of Honor, they'll air both of them. They pick up both of them. Spike's not dropping TNA anytime soon. It's their highest rated show. What I'm saying is this: 22%, they can't compete with TNA. They cannot compete. 22% is good in and of itself, but you can't compete being in only 22% of homes when your competition is in over 90% of homes. Think about that. And take that away from wrestling. Think about any other business. Say we're talking about McDonald's and Burger King. Now imagine if Burger King, let's say we got 50 states. Let's say McDonald's was available to only 22% of Americans. Only 22% of Americans lived close enough to a McDonald's that they could go to one. Now imagine that there are enough Burger Kings that over 90% of Americans lived close enough to a Burger King that they could drive to one. Who's going to get more business? Burger King. They're more accessible. Comparing 22% to over 90%, that's like if we look at our 50 states and say McDonald's is in only 15 of our 50 states, and Burger King is in 49, 48. No, let's see, 90%. All right, let's say McDonald's is located in only 10 of our 50 United States, and Burger King is located in 45 out of 50 states. Which restaurant is gonna have more business? How could McDonald's compete with Burger King if McDonald's was only in 10 states and Burger King were in 45 states? It's impossible. There's no way they can compete. They can't compete with only 22%. Now, as this thing gets bigger, and I think and hope that it will, I both hope that Ring of Honor grows beyond this 22%, and I strongly believe they will. I think they can build themselves up. If I like the show, I'll watch it myself. When Ring of Honor can get up to 50% of homes, 60% of homes, 75, 80% of homes, when they can get to, I think Spike TV's in 90%, 95% of homes. So when Ring of Honor can get up to like 80% of homes, then we could talk competition. But when it's 22% to 90%, they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance in hell, no matter how great their show is. Imagine if WWE were only in 22% of homes. I'm not saying that they can't build it up. I want and believe that ROH can build themselves up bigger from this. I hope they do. I want them to compete. I want Ring of Honor to one day be on the exact same night and time as TNA, and them having a new wrestling war. And whichever show I like more, that'll be the one, I suppose. If Ring of Honor wins me away from TNA, so be it. I'll come on here and say, hey, Ring of Honor has won me over. But I want them competing. I want both of these companies head to head on Thursday night or whatever night of the week they end up both on, going head to head with their shows. That's what I hope for. And I think Ring of Honor can do it. I'm just saying it's going to take a lot of time. The original video, I was saying hold your horses, people, because all these people on these different websites that I'm reading thinking it's going to happen in like a year. It's not going to happen in a year. It's not going to happen in 2 years. It's going to take 2-3 years before Ring of Honor builds themselves up enough to be really able to go really head to head with TNA. It's going to take some time. But I do think they can do it. No, I would not stay up to 11 p.m. to watch TNA. Not if I can watch it online the next day. The only way I would stay up that late to watch TNA is if there was no other way for me to watch it. If I didn't have a VCR or a DVR to record the show, if I didn't have any type of internet access where I could watch it online or download it, yeah. If the only way I was able to watch TNA was to stay up till 11 p.m. to watch it, yeah, I would. That's the only way. I'm not staying up to 11 p.m. to watch no show. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's Naked Diva or wrestling. I'll record it and watch it in the morning. I ain't staying up till 11 o'clock. I got a job. I work a full-time job and I get off at 8 o'clock. I come home tired and I'm ready to go to sleep. I relax, surf some websites, find me something to listen to, and then I go to bed. Fuck that. I like TNA, but I don't like it to stay up till 11 o'clock at night to watch it. That when I can record it. Shit. Yes, Ring of Honor does have a very strong fan base, a strong but small fan base. Hopefully, they will grow with this new venture. I think they can grow, but it's gonna take some time, a lot of time. I just want people to get this thing into perspective. You know, TNA doesn't need to worry about ROH yet. As long as ROH is only in 22% of homes, TNA doesn't need to worry. And then and people say, what about the internet thing? Okay, fine. Okay, well, what if TNA puts their show online too? They just cancel that out. Now Impact's available all over the world. I mean, it is now if you know how to use YouTube or a torrent site or anything like that. But okay, TNA puts their show on, start putting their episodes online, and you can watch every episode of Impact on the website. Now I've canceled out that whole international thing. That's done. Also, keep in mind, TNA is also on television in other countries. They're aired internationally. Ring of Honor isn't. It's going to take a lot of time for Ring of Honor to build to a point where they can truly compete with TNA on a global level. So, alright, I'm at 25 minutes. This actually was shorter than I thought it would be. Yeah, I think I addressed all the points I wanted to that video. You guys did a very good video. I enjoyed listening to what you had to say, and I think I've addressed all the points that I wanted to make. So if you guys want to respond to it again, I will await your response, and I'll respond to that. So, Dalyxman and MrLucidLJ, that was a very good video. I appreciate the feedback and the response, and I hope you appreciate mine. This is the Shadow Ranger. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.